Hi guys, just back at the studio in Essex. We haven't really shown much of this on the main channel. It's been more on the members page, which if you want to become a member, there's some more top tips on there. Join that, have a look. Yeah, so this is a 5 by 3.5 drum studio. We've got 3 days to finish this. Let's just turn the camera around and have a little look around. So this is the main entrance. Obviously got a landscape window there. First job today, myself and Jacob, is to get this fantastic thermo IS cladding on. The shadow gap stuff, so we're gonna get the roof bonded on, get that started. Probably Jacob's gonna do that. We'll do the roof together, and then he'll do the cladding. And then inside, I plastered this actually a couple of weeks ago. So this one's gonna be a white ceiling, and it's gonna have Hague blue on the walls. We've got anthracite windows and doors and skirting board, wood floor. There's gonna be a feature wall here. We've also got some Hillswick Cara fabric panels. We've got 3/4 base straps and 8 panels that are going on the walls. So plenty to do, guys. Yeah, just myself and Jacob this time, so quite a bit to do. And as mentioned, we have got 3 days to go from this room to this. Okay, we'll get set up and we'll bring you guys back shortly.
Making me work here.
I'm just so...
You're dripping it everywhere.
You've dropped some though,
You
Jacob.
bloody dripping it onto my shoe, look.
Oh dear.
Not given any care.
That's the roof bonded on. We're going to have some trims on here, so it's not super important that this is going to look amazing, although we do finish the corners pretty nicely. But we'll have a trim on here and obviously one on the side. So I'm just going to do all 4 corners. That's one of them done. Jacob's getting some of the battens on, which obviously take the cladding. Yeah, we'll get all that done and then see where we're up to.
As Jacob continues to fit the thermo cladding on the front of the building, I begin to prepare the anthracite trims to cover the rubber roof. The UPVC trims are fitted with colour matching nails. At this stage, it's really important to measure where these are going to go, as they will be on show once completed.
Quick update on the process. We've been working so hard outside. We've got the rubber roof bonded on. I've been working hard, you haven't. Got the rubber roof sorted. We've got these anthracite trims. Jacob's putting on the thermo IS cladding. Should we go and take a look a bit closer? So this is an 18mm product. It's a shadow gap profile. We've put a clear coat exterior varnish on this, which is an extra durable one, which should give it UV protection, stop it going silver. But this is thermally treated wood, so it lasts a long time, doesn't it, Jacob?
Like loads longer.
Loads longer than other wood. So that's looking pretty smart. Still haven't been inside much yet. Gonna get to that. I think what I'm gonna do next is actually get the window, this exterior window in, which I need to sort of set that up, and that'd be an easy thing just to box off. So I think I'm gonna do that next. Just to mention also at the end of this video, which will be in about 2 days, once this is completed, I'm going to be doing a quick test with this stereo on my laptop. It's got 10 speakers in it, and we're going to have a dB meter sort of measuring how loud it is. So we'll put a track on, have a bit of a walk around. So stick around on this one for the test, because I think a few people have been asking, okay, we've heard the test with drums and other instruments, can we hear it with just a sound system? So we're going to do that one on this, which I think would be good to hear for you guys. So we'll bring you back shortly.
As well as the door, the window is going to be the weakest part of any studio build. We have found that using 8 layers of glass pretty much equals the density of the walls and means sound will not escape easily through this area. Unfortunately, we haven't really worked out an opening window option yet anyway.
Okay guys, just about to fit the external window. We've got a little bit of a reveal here, normally about 5 or 6 centimeters. Just to set this up right, so we've got outside UPVC window, and then internally we've got our chunky studio window, which is about 29.9 centimetres, well, exactly that. So when we've got our two plasterboards here with the plaster, I've got a piece of timber, cut that to 29.9, and just fitted those in each of the corners. And then obviously when I fit my UPVC window, I can fit it right up to this, and I know the distance from here to there, because obviously it changes slightly by a couple of mil here and there with obviously the plasterboard and the plaster. It means then on the other side, when I come to fit my studio window, it's going to be perfectly flush with the plaster work, and then I can get my architrave on the outside nice and flush. I'm going to get this outer window fitted now, guys, and I'll bring you back.
Round in circles, never letting go, never letting go.
Okay guys, back at the studio this morning, few things to do. First job I'm going to be doing is actually spraying down inside a little bit more. I'll just show you what's going to happen there. I'll just turn the camera around. So I've got all the cladding trims, window on yesterday, corner pieces. This still needs another coat of stain, which we're going to do tomorrow. Let's go inside. So I've got a mist coat on the walls and on the ceiling. Gonna spray this white again this morning. And then later on the walls, we're gonna have Hague blue, which is a Farrow and Ball colour, which will be a nice contrast. This wall's gonna have some feature cladding on. And we got 8 acoustic panels, which is the Hillswick Cara fabric colour. And we've got 3 corner base straps. So we've got 2 there and then 1 in this corner. So I'm going to get this sprayed up now. Jacob's going to be finishing a bit of cladding at the back on the corners, and then we're going to get the metal anthracite cladding on the back, which is the Plastisol coated sheet metal cladding, which is maintenance free. So we'll get that done on the back. And then we've got a whole load of jobs to do, including the subfloor, getting the door framing, getting the window trims around the windows. There's so much to do today, and I'm going to be on my own tomorrow. But anyway, we'll bring you guys back once we've set up and once we're a little bit further on. Big shout out to anyone who has bought us a coffee on our Buy Me a Coffee page. This really helps the channel, helps us buy coffee, helps us quench our thirst when we're in need of some caffeine, and just generally helps the channel. So thanks very much if you've donated to our Buy Me a Coffee page, links in the description. Okay guys, that's the spray painting done on the ceiling. Jacob's finished these last 2 boards on the end. Next thing we're going to do is actually get the metal cladding on the back here. I'll just turn the camera around. There's a couple of things we've got to try and get around, so I'll turn the camera around so you can see what they are. So we've got a passive vent here, active vent over there with a wire. The metal cladding has got a contour to it, so we're going to try and make sure, it's not always possible, that we get this within the contour of a flat bit so it comes out at the right spot. That's the only difficulty with working with these vents and this cladding. We've also got this is the aircon feed, I believe. Yeah, so that's the aircon feed, and then we've also got a pull through for the armoured cable. So we've got to get those sorted. Obviously got this vent here and the cable for the fan. So it'll be a waterproof box on here. We're going to cut the cladding at the front first. I think they're going to go down to 227 centimetres. We're going to cut those down with the Milwaukee nibbler, and then we can bring them around here. We've got tech screws and covers, and obviously get this all sorted. Once that's done, we'll be getting the guttering on. Job is going to be getting the subfloor down. This is the concrete base that we put down a few months ago. The building's obviously sat on the concrete base. The first thing we're going to put down is a visqueen membrane, which is going to sort of damp proof it. So obviously there's a membrane underneath the concrete base as well. We like to start with another membrane, and then what we've done is we have 3x2 timber like this with some 10mm rubber blocks on, and they're roughly on the main pieces, which are 8 foot long, they're normally every 40 centimeters just to support the floor. So this will essentially sit on top of the membrane. We can get that. So the membrane will be down, this will sit on top, then we'll have 18mm cable floor, tongue and groove board on top, then an underlay, then wood floor. The other thing is we're going to have insulation in between the timbers. So I'll build this up, start with the damp-proof membrane, then add 50mm rock wool, cable floor 18mm, then obviously we can think about the flooring, but we probably won't do the flooring until tomorrow or much later on today. So I'll bring you guys back once I'm a bit more set up, but I'm going to keep the camera running so you can see this build up from the concrete base.
It's really important that you mechanically separate the inner floor from the concrete base. This helps stop sound from vibrating into the structure of the room and really enhances the overall soundproofing. Make sure at this stage the rock wool is nice and tight and fitted all the way to the edges.
Okay guys, just giving you a quick update. Actually got the rock wool in the floor now and the timbers down, so we got some 18mm cable floor which is over there. That's going to go on the top of there. Jacob has been doing some stuff around the back, so we've got that box to go on, which is for the exterior fan. We also managed to get all the cladding on the back, so there's a fan vent to go there. That's where the box is, that's the exterior fan. Got the main feed armoured cable, that's the pull through for that. That is for the aircon switch, which is a 16 amp rotary isolator. So we get all that boxed off now, and then we're going to be moving more inside. We're going to get the cable floor in, and then hopefully get the wood flooring down, I think. Okay guys, so just about to get the inner window in. I've just put this to stop any of the rock wool from here like coming up and obviously getting in between the glass. That should fit pretty well. Hopefully we'll just have to jack it up a tiny little bit at this side, but yeah, I'm pretty confident that's just going to go straight in. And because we set up yesterday with the pieces of timber from here to here, which I think was about, I can't actually remember, 29.9, something like that, it should be completely flush with the plasterboard. And the reason we're doing this now before the floor is because we're going to create a load of dust.
Yeah.
And we don't want to do that, and then it'll go in the window, do we?
We don't want to do that.
So Jacob's going to help me carry that in. Going to slot it in, all good. Right, let's go. So are we not doing this up there? So we're making good progress. It's me on my own now because Jacob's gone home. He's got a bit of a drive back and he needs to be back for tomorrow because he's going away. But yeah, so we got the floor in, which is a sort of laminate oak floor. We've got 2 panels up on the ceiling, sort of one here, one at the back. There's sort of clouds, 125 by 65. These can stay up because obviously the ceiling's already painted. We've got a couple of base traps at the back which we'll have to take off, and then we've marked the walls and actually put the plugs where all the other panels are going to go. So we took those off for now, and this is all going to be painted in Hague blue. And what I'm actually going to do now is, because yeah, it's getting a bit late on in the day, I thought what I'd actually do is fit the sockets. These are going to be metal clad sockets. So I'm going to get these all the way round, so get those wired in, and then I'll mask them off, and then tomorrow I can just paint around them, which is obviously better than waiting for the paint to dry tomorrow. And that's kind of what I feel like doing at this late hour. So anyway, we're going to crack on with this, and we'll bring you guys back once a bit further on.
When fitting the sockets, it's best to go for surface mounted boxes so you don't end up cutting large holes in the plasterwork and insulation. Here I'm using metal clad boxes from TLC Electrical, which are easy to fit and not too expensive. This took slightly longer than I thought because of the extra earth wire needed to ground the metal box, but hey, it's all good.
Okay guys, we're just back at the studio this morning. This is the final day, this is the hardest one, and I'm on my own today. It's the last sort of 10% of stuff that we've got to do, always the most difficult. We've got all the panels up on the ceiling, we've dry fitted the panels on the wall. First thing I've got to do really is try and get the walls to the colour that they're going to be, which is hay blue. This is a sort of white mist coat. The ceiling is the final colour, which is obviously going to be white. So we've got the wood floor down, bar a little bit there, so I've got to adjust the door. There's quite a few things to do outside. Got the trim around the windows, all the archy skirting boards, got the electrics to finish. I've got to paint the walls twice and give the outside a stain. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to be running the camera all day, I'm just going to give you some periodic updates. We're hopefully going to get to a test at the end of this. Well, we will do a test at the end of this just to see how good this is with a 10 speaker sound system. So I'll put a track on, I'll have a walk around, let's just see how efficient this is in terms of the soundproofing. So I'm going to crack on now and I'll bring you back once I've got some emulsion on the walls. Bit of an update, it's 5:15 and literally I've run out of steam and I've got a 5-hour drive back, so I'm going to call it a day there and come back next week and finish it off for another couple of days. So much work to finish on my own, but it's looking great. Obviously got the doors on, got the window in, got the cladding on. Let's just have a little look inside and see actually where I got up to. So still got to get the trim around the door in. Got the outside lights on. Got these outer door seals done. There's a plate to go on the bottom here, plus we've got the inner door seals to do. Wood floor finished. Obviously got all the electrics working. There's a feature wall to go there, so it's going to be like an acoustic feature wall for filming. Got to put the sand in the doors. Got the acoustic panels on, which look good. There's a window in, that's all needs finishing. So there's loads of like trims and bits of things to finish and touch up. So obviously we want to make sure it's perfect before we leave it. But I kind of hit a bit of a point where I can't really go much further tonight. So I'm going to leave this and finish it next week. So thanks for watching so far, guys. There will be a test at the end of this, I promise. I'm just going to put this into one long video, I think, because I did promise there's going to be a test at the beginning of this, and I don't want to do this in another video. So once we finish next week, I'll get a test with the sound system, a dB meter, and we'll make sure we do it properly, and I can go through everything and make sure everything's nice and tight, because obviously we're into doing the best job we can, and obviously leaving it in a fantastic state. So we'll see you next week. Got 2 days down to finish everything. Give myself another couple of days just to make sure I don't rush this, and obviously do the test at the end. So a few things to do today, because it's about 1 o'clock. We've got some decent weather. I think tomorrow's going to be raining, so I want to give the cladding another coat of clear coat varnish to give that the protection. So I'm going to try and do that this afternoon. I've also got a trim to put where the concrete base is a little bit higher at the front, so I've got an anthracite trim. We've also got the trims to go around the doors, and just generally checking on the outside that I've got everything caulked in, siliconed, particularly around these window reveals here. Also got some reveals to go around the door, which are made of tricoya. They're painted anthracite. So going to do all that today, try and get all this outside stuff sorted, and then tomorrow I can, because I think it's going to be raining a little bit, finish off anything inside, including the acoustic feature wall, any touch-ups, electrics and all those sorts of things. Got to do a test on the electrics as well. But yeah, it's all coming together. I'm going to keep the camera running whilst I'm working on the outside, and I'll bring you back later on for a little bit of an update. Those trims done around the door, around the bottom, that's all looking nice and tidy. Next thing I'm going to do is actually get the sand in the door, so the outside door, because it's going to be raining tomorrow, so I want to make sure I do all the outside bits. So what we'll do is we get probably 1.5 bags of kiln dried sand in the cavity, and then we have some top plates which then hammer in, and then we put a layer of silicone over the top just to protect it so no water gets in. The final piece of the door is then this strip, which is from Ironmongery Direct. This is just a sort of weather strip that goes on the outside, which is metal and black. I'll keep going, bring you guys back shortly. Thanks for watching so far. Just try and show you in the top of the door, just filled both cavities with sand. Let's just see if we can get the camera in there. Okay, so you can see the sand on either side of the cavity. Obviously got a piece of timber in the middle, and then we've got this piece of timber, which in theory should just slot in if we've cut it right. It's actually just slightly too big, just by a fraction, so I'll just cut that down and obviously get that in. That's most of the outside done now, ready for tomorrow. I think it's going to rain a little bit, so I'm trying to get everything done outside. It's about 5:10. One thing I've noticed is this inner door is, I don't know if you can see this, is quite close to the floor. So it's got clearance, but obviously once we put sand in that, it may drop a little bit, even by a couple of mil. What I don't want to do is get into the scenario where the door drops and then starts scraping on the floor, or worse, it kind of drops and we can't open the door, or the customer can't open the door in the future. So what I'm gonna have to do is take the door off and just run the track saw on the bottom and take 2 or 3 mil off. So I know that's never gonna happen, so it's a bit of a pain, but I think if I can get that done, maybe get the sand in the door and get the seals on, then that'll be me done for today. And then tomorrow I've just got to build the feature wall, do all the touch-ups and do the electrical testing. Managed to get the door off last night and actually shave off 2 or 3 mil, so there's a little bit of room now for a mat as well underneath, so there's no chance that's going to drop over time and cause an issue scratching on the floor. My first job today is I'm going to go around and fill all the holes from the brad gun on the skirting board and the architrave. Got to paint that bit of archi there. Once everything's gone off in terms of that filler, I've obviously given everything a touch up. Got a few touches on the ceiling. I've then got to tackle this feature wall here, which is going to be some acoustic paneling that's going to go on there that the customers bought. So yeah, I'm going to do the little tiny bits to start with, and then I'll bring you guys back once I start doing the acoustic wall.
The acoustic paneling is a great product to add a feature wall to any home studio and really easy to fit. However, I didn't realise at this point that they are best fitted with black screws placed in between the timber battens rather than 4 tubes of grab adhesive which didn't actually stick.
Okay guys, that's the feature wall up. Actually looked pretty cool, not that difficult to fit. It's kind of like a fabric sort of backing, which is probably about 10, 15, maybe 20 mil thick, and then obviously you've got some timber battens to give you that sort of profile. Acoustically sounds a little bit different in here. It's definitely going to do something. I'm going to crack on, get everything painted up, get all the finish done, and then next time we'll see you will be the finished walk around. That's the studio all finished. What a journey that has been. Pretty happy with the finish on this one. We've gone from this to this. That isn't worth a subscribe, guys, and a like, then I don't know what is. Thanks for watching this far. Just stick around now for the test. Quick test with this stereo on my laptop. It's got 10 speakers in it. So the loudest we could record on the dB meter was 95.1. Obviously, that is loud. It's kind of like, in terms of monitoring music, you know, I think that'd be too loud for me, certainly. Obviously, if you were playing music, you know, easily the drum kit can get up to 100, 110, 115. Obviously, what we want to do is test it with some concert music. So I've got this track, which is a bit of a rock track. Let's get this started, and then we'll have a little walk around outside and see how this performs. That's the first door. Immediately that takes it down a lot. What I would say is, obviously, I don't know what the camera can pick up in terms of very subtle sounds that's very muffled. I can hear it, and I'm right outside the door. Obviously, if you listen to this on headphones, it might be a good test. Sort of similar to, you know, to the door, in terms of the window, similar to the door. I can hear a little bit of bass drum, like a quarter note bass drum. It's not loud enough for it to be a problem. Obviously there's other things happening around here, like wind, people moving around. Let's go around this side. So I'll come back to the house now. So I'd say that's probably 5 meters away. So the building's 5 meters, I'm probably 5 meters in front of it. Can't actually hear anything at all now. Obviously, any wind sort of taking that away. This is kind of close to it. Obviously got the fence, which actually does something. I can't actually hear it at all now. As I say, the maximum I got to was 95.1. Okay, so yeah, 95.1. So that's doing a great job. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, on that bit of a test. The room, I think, it's turned out fantastic. We'll tag Gideon in the comments whose studio it is. He's got his own website, which I think is drumhelper.com. Obviously, again, I'll put that in the comments. He's going to set this up with all his stuff, drum kit, recording equipment. He does a lot of reviews of different products and stuff. So this is the dream to have this in the back garden. So thanks for watching, guys. If you watch this far, please like and subscribe. Obviously that really helps the channel move on, and obviously helps us, you know, do the videoing and run things from what little we get from it. But obviously it's great to get this out there and let you guys see what we do. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.